Welcome to the latest edition of the Nick and Rob Homer Hour. We've got a lot to talk about as we recap week 2. We had wins across the board for our teams. And is Daniel Jones really an MVP contender? Find out now on the Nick and Rob Homer Hour.
We are live at the Nick and Rob Homer Hour, and we've got a lot to talk about as week 2 was a very entertaining one, don't you think, Rob?
It was a fantastic week. I think your Cowboys gave you a little bit more than you bargained for, but hey, we got some bonus football out of it, and the Colts, wow. And the Patriots, we're growing. I'm frustrated, but we're growing. These are good things.
Yeah, we'll get into all that and more when we get into Eastside News. Then we've got what's happening with the Colts, and then we make our week 3 picks. So, Rob, should we just go ahead and kick it to Eastside News?
Yeah, let's jump right into it.
Eastside News.
All right, we've got some East Side news. We're excited to jump into it. I'm going to lead off with the Patriots. They got a week 2 win. They got Mike Vrabel's first win, which was absolutely wonderful. You could argue it shouldn't have been as difficult as it was, but Drake May looked fantastic throughout the game. That was great to see. I really enjoyed that. We had probably, well, even though we're only in week 2, it might be the iconic image of the season. A cameraman caught it. Mike Vrabel was running down the sideline just as fast as the defender with the ball once we get that interception. Honestly, I thought Vrabel was going to beat him into the end zone. Saw some close-up photos afterwards. I love our coach. I don't know if I've ever said this before, but I love Mike Vrabel. I think he's the true heir apparent to Bill Belichick, and we are trending in the right direction. Like I said, overall, we won the game. That was great. That being said, this Dolphins team is bad, bad, bad. The Patriots shouldn't have let them hang around as long as they did, but they did. And they did from a few reasons that should be able to get cleaned up just in practice with attention to detail and with growth. First and foremost, I think the Patriots may have picked the wrong kicker. They ended up going with the 6th-round rookie, Borregales, over Parker Romo. Borregales missed a kick last week. He then missed 2 extra points this week. He did make a kick later on when it mattered, but he's causing these games to be a lot closer. He's causing the team to have to adjust how they're playing, so that's not good. And guess what? Parker Romo is not available anymore because Atlanta picked him up, and he just became a star with all the field goals he made for Atlanta. So Romo is out. We're stuck with Borregales, I would imagine, for at least another week or 2. But hopefully he's kicking a lot more in practice.
So, what happened to Koo in Atlanta? Did they cut him?
They didn't cut him yet. They decided to make him a healthy scratch and benched him. I guess they had room on the 53-man roster. But, I mean, Koo he's their all-time best kicker. He's probably still owed for a kicker a good amount of money. But they didn't give him an injury designation. They just gave him a healthy scratch. I don't know if the cut's coming or if ultimately we're going to learn that, okay, there was an injury or something like that's going to happen. But I can't imagine the Falcons go back to Koo this next week with what Romo just did.
I think you should be getting pretty excited because it sounds like they're probably going to cut Younghoe Koo. And if they cut Younghoe Koo, I think the Patriots need to pick that up.
Yeah, pick him up, throw him on the practice squad, make sure he's doing good. And then if Borregales doesn't right the ship, try Koo. Because this is a team, with what we've seen, this is a team, and once they start scoring, and guess what? They scored more than 24 this week. They scored more than 24. The defense is mostly good enough to shut some other teams down. So, again, I don't think this is a Super Bowl team. I think this is a team that should challenge. They should be second in the AFC East. They definitely should, and they should be challenging for that 7 seed. What do you think, Nick? You think they can challenge for that 7 seed after what you saw this last weekend?
Absolutely. I not that the Miami Dolphins are anything but, which I think this game was more of a testament of how the Miami Dolphins were going to respond after such a travesty week. They had a big player meeting in week 2 because of their coaching situation. And I guess they want to quit on the coach. So they're trying to gather everyone around and try to be professional about it. And that was the one aspect I was looking at in this game. I think talent wise, this is one of the better teams in the NFL. There should be no excuse why they're struggling so bad. But that being said, I think the Patriots are a really, really good squad. Their defense is fine, and looks like Drake May's working out. Um, I don't see any reason why the Patriots aren't a bad team. It was just more about the Miami Dolphins, who are a little bit more have the little bit more talent at this point in time, and for them to at least put up a fight showed good signs. But God, I gotta tell you, I got more out of the Dolphins than the Patriots on this game. The way Mike McDaniel responded in that press conference, I don't think the players are quitting on him. I think he is quitting on him. He looks like he is so out of this game.
He almost looks like, and this will double up as Dolphins East Side News as well, because this was what I was going to talk about. He almost looks like he's like strung out on drugs, not sleeping. I don't know. He looks like he's a mess. He doesn't know what's going on. Granted, he kept up. He always does the kind of the sarcastic shtick with the media. It hits better when they're winning. Obviously, they're not winning right now, but they'll get better as they do it. And no, they won't get better. They need a new coach.
It's bad. It gives me vibes of, if you remember Jay Gruden when he was with the at the time Washington Redskins, and you could tell he was just quitting on that team. Same with Doug Peterson on his last year with the Eagles. It's giving me that vibe way too early in the season. And if you're the owner, you got to spot this early and realize your timetable's running out. This team should be one of the best teams in the AFC, and they're just not cutting it right now with Mike McDaniel, who I think is a great coach, by the way. But go ahead.
I think McDaniel's message just ran out, and that was it. But if you weren't going to fire him after week 2, I don't see they can fire him after next week. They're going up against the Bills. They're probably going to lose 50-0. But you got to see. I would wait, see how they respond after the drubbing in Buffalo or in Miami when they play Buffalo. I'm not sure who's home or who's away. And then from there, if they don't respond in week 4, time to go for sure.
Yeah.
But the other couple things, like I saw, just to bounce back quick to New England. So we talked about the kicker issue. That's a problem. But at wide receiver, Pop Douglas his role's diminished very quickly. However, Kayshon Boutte he's become the go-to receiver for Drake May early on. Love seeing that. The biggest thing is going to be on the O-line, though. We got a challenge. Morgan Moses has not had a good first couple games. He was a prized free agent. We brought him in for a lot of money. He missed most of training camp, missed most of all this public stuff that we could see as they were ramping him up. He had some critical penalties that you just can't have, especially from a veteran that really kept the Dolphins in the game. And then on top of that, he left in a walking boot. So there's a good chance, as of right now, he was a limited participant in practice today. We're recording on Wednesday. We'll see if he goes. We'll see. But if he doesn't go, that means we'll have a rookie 7th-round pick that'll be coming in on the offensive line to make his first start in Marcus Bryant. So that's going up against a veteran team next week. That's a lot to worry about. But we'll see. I'm cautiously optimistic about the Patriots. My hope's still there. I saw what I needed to see. Had they come in scoring 12 points, I'd be I'd be balled under here. I'd be angry. I'd be upset. But they scored 30, scored more than that. Scored 33, and there's the progress is there. I'm hoping to continue to see more progress next week. I don't want any steps back.
So can you give me because you seem frustrated, at least according to the text messages, but overall, like the two positives from the Patriots and two negatives that you got out of that game.
Yeah. So the positives are Drake May and Keyshawn Boutte. They've got a great connection. That's the positives right there. The negatives are stupid penalties. There were several stupid penalties. Morgan Moses really highlighted that. And the kicking game. Borregales either needs to wake up fast or they need a new kicker. And yeah, you drafted him. I get it. You used a 6th-round pick. Don't cut him. Throw him on the practice squad. Get another kicker. Let him keep developing. So, yeah.
The downside of that is it takes a roster spot for the kicking position. I don't know if they have time for that, right?
Well, I mean, on the practice squad, that I'd like to think you can carve out a
practice.
spot on the practice squad for him if needed. Because it's not like anyone's gonna and as they move him to the practice squad, no one's gonna swoop in and take him off waivers right now.
And, I'll get into it later, but kicking it seems to be an issue in the NFL for all but one team right now, maybe two.
Yeah.
I'll give Pittsburgh some credit, but it's really weird. The rest of the league is struggling, and knock on wood, so far that's not my problems over there.
Yeah. So, you want to dive right into that then?
Yeah, so the Dallas Cowboys go against New York Giants, and the Dallas Cowboys were favored by 5.5, but that was not even a 5.5. Probably shouldn't even have won the game, but they pulled off a crazy victory, winning 40-37 in overtime. Big stats to look at: the Cowboys had 478 overall yards. The Giants had 506. I mean, first downs alone, the Cowboys had 32, the Giants had 22. Red zone, the Cowboys were a little better at that. Giants were 1-5 in the red zone, so if I got a couple positives from this defense, that was a good one for the Cowboys. The big story of this game was the penalties, though. Cowboys got 12 penalties for 106 yards, and the Giants got 14 penalties for 160. Very sloppy game on both sides. So I already hear some Giants fans complaining about the penalties being called, but it looks like they were just calling a tough game in general. And key performances from the quarterback. So you had Dak Prescott go 38 for 52. A lot of yards. You don't want Dak to be having that many pass attempts. That's never a good sign. That means you're usually behind. 361 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and a 14-yard scramble, the slowest scramble I've seen, but he was able to get 14 yards for a big first down. And he is right now 14-0 against the New York Giants since 2016. So anytime he starts, he seems to be able to find a way to beat these guys.
That's Brady versus Buffalo numbers there.
Yeah, he just has their number. Now, to be fair, the Giants haven't been good for quite some time. They had a couple good years, but you got to take care of the bad teams, and Dak Prescott does a good job at that, for sure.
Yeah, I got to say, through 2 games, Dak's impressed me. He's come back, he's healthy, and he clearly has an axe to grind with all those naysayers saying Dak's not it. There's only not even a handful. There's a couple quarterbacks that would take right now based on what I've seen this season over Dak.
He's looking a lot better. They call it the Dak rebound year, though. This is when he had the big injury or poor performance, at least in 2022. He did this in 2023 and finished second in MVP. He's probably one of those guys that needs some motivation. He needs to have a bad year and steps it up. And I got to tell you, I like his performance. It wasn't the all-time greatest performance by him, but overall, he did a pretty good job this game. And one of the biggest reasons why he's doing so much better is you've got CeeDee Lamb, who got 9 receptions for 112 yards and no touchdown. I'm sorry, fantasy people. He didn't get you a touchdown, but
I could use that touchdown, but it's okay. My team still won.
I mean, you still got about 20 points out of him. That's pretty good, right?
Yeah, it was great.
And then, of course, George Pickens, 6-yard TD catch with 52 seconds left in regulation. If you would think that would be the last TD, you would be wrong. And big performance also by Javonte Williams, who got 18 carries and 97 yards and 1 touchdown. And I got to tell you, the Javonte Williams thing is driving me nuts because a lot of people were saying that Javonte Williams is not going to be good this year, and I didn't understand it. But what a lot of people didn't understand was the Denver Broncos were in a rock and a hard place. So he was a second-round pick that was injured for his 3rd year on the rookie contract deal, and they just had to make a decision. Is he worth second-round money or not? And they ended up cutting him. And a lot of people were comparing him to Zeke Elliott 2.0, and I was like, oh, no, this one's different. He's really good. It's just a matter of if he's going to bounce back from his injury. And
exactly. Yeah.
Sean Payton liked him too, by the way. It had nothing to do with that. It was just pure money. And then Javonte Williams seems to be doing really well over there.
Yeah, and I mean,
go ahead, Rob.
I was going to say, one thing to keep in mind, the 5th-year option for rookies is only for first-round picks. So you got to make that decision a lot quicker on second-rounders. And with the way things go with running backs these days, it makes sense that the Broncos and Peyton let him go. But now I think in the running back room for the Cowboys, it's Williams. It's him. He's got it. And then just a matter of when will Jadon Blue put Miles Sanders out to pasture for the second spot.
Completely agree. I am not a big fan of Miles Sanders. You want Zeke 2.0, that's where you get with Miles Sanders. Nothing against him. I just think he's on his last leg, and I want that. I want that thunder and lightning combo with Javonte Williams and Blue so bad. I think it would be a great combo, but for some odd reason, they're not starting him. He might be fumbling the ball a lot in practice, as Rob, as a Texas fan, would know.
Yeah, he has that issue at times. It also might be conditioning because he was coming off of an ankle injury. So they might just not feel the need to rush him and would rather just have Miles Sanders there.
Could be. And he's an experienced, and nothing on Miles Sanders on that. He is experienced. He's an experienced running back that should be able to run the ball. Then we get into what I'm going to do the same thing, by the way, Rob, as you did, kind of
cover the Giants now.
Yeah, cover both of them. But Russell Wilson throws for 30 for 41, 450 yards, second most in his career. That makes me feel good. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 32-yard. Forget the 32-yard or the 48-yard. There was a 35-yard touchdown. There was whatever he wanted, he was able to get out there, and I'll get into that later. But Malik Neighbors got 9 receptions, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns. Wendell Robinson, 162 yards. Cam Scadaboo was stuffed. So if there's one good thing out of the defense right now for the Cowboys, this is back-to-back games where if you run the ball with your running back, it doesn't work out for you. We were able to stop Saquon Barkley, and we also stopped Scadaboo, who it wasn't his fault. He looked good, but he got 11 carries for 45 yards. And did get 1 touchdown, so he wasn't the end of the world. And then you got, of course, penalties galore for them. So here's my angle of this whole performance over there for the Cowboys. That defense is atrocious. There's 2 good things that I got out of that defense, okay? They can stop the run. I accept that. That's good. Great. Good on you, okay? But, man, I'm scared of Eberflus. I think he's terrible. I think he's actually a terrible defensive coordinator. Right now, the Dallas Cowboys were running 97% of their plays, passing plays, were zone. By far, number 1 in the league, okay? And as much criticism as Russell Wilson gets out there, one thing, if you're a veteran quarterback, and if you play Madden, you know this, the veteran quarterbacks know how to beat zone better than anyone out there because they've seen it. he might not be the fastest anymore. He might not be able to do the immediate passes like the 20-yard scamper, things like that. But one thing Russell Wilson has not lost, and we all should know this, is Russell Wilson has the deep ball. And if you play 97% zone on him, he's going to tear you up. I've got the offense that the Giants did all game long. All they did was they ran the ball a little. They ran a couple slant routes. They saw how far they can go with it. And then when they realized, oh crap, they actually stopped us at 3rd and 10, they ran a post route in cover 3 or cover 2 defense and nailed it every single time. Every single time. And it made Russell Wilson look like the old Russell Wilson or the young Russell Wilson out there. And he was torching us apart. And the biggest thing that I have on Eberflus in this entire game that's so frustrating is this defense was built around Dan Quinn. We all know that, right?
Yeah.
And Dan Quinn's style is very simple. All it is hyper physical, man to man. You have the 3 zones, and you run safety zones in the background. And our players are geared for that. I mean, you have Trayvon Diggs, that's how he plays. It's man to man. You have Donovan Wilson, who runs free as a safety wherever he wants to be on the field, and he's hyper physical. Malik Hooker can actually play zone. That's not an issue with him, but you already have Bland out for the game, and we had to put in Elam over there. It was just atrocious, and it's not a great way to run these guys because it's not the cards that you're dealt. My dad always taught me back when in management, you have to work with the army you have, not the one that you want. And your army that you have does not play zone well. They're not good at it. They don't know how to play it, and you run it 97% of the time. This is going to happen, not with Trayvon Diggs. And by the way, the one thing that zone coverage should be doing, what's the one thing that zone coverage should be stopping? Big touchdowns.
Yeah.
Right? Big touchdowns.
Everything should be in front of them.
Everything should be in front of you. You should be slowly driving it. And what were they doing? They were torching us time and time again on zone coverage. So I'm sitting there looking at Eberflus and going, dude, at this point, try something else. It doesn't matter. They're getting their touchdowns. Just do something a little different.
That being said, isn't the speed of that secondary, doesn't it typically set them up well in theory to run zone?
Clearly not. Clearly not. But you are right. We should have a very fast secondary out there. It's just not a scheme that they've had to play over and over and over again. They've, of course, played zone. They probably played 50-50. Dan Quinn played. He let his corners just cook. That's his strategy over there. But Eberflus is trying to instill a strategy that I just don't think equals to the defense. And I think a lot of this has to do with Jerry. Jerry liked Eberflus because he was our linebackers coach in the Garrett era. And so he thought, Eberflus, good guy that had a good defense for the Colts. He should be good over here. It doesn't work that way, Jerry. You got to know your roster. That's what a GM does. Know who you have and get a defensive coordinator out there that matches well with the players that you have. So now we're playing a weird Frankenstein thing where we're trying to get the secondary to do zone coverage. We're trying to get the defensive line to switch it up and actually be able to stop the run and less focus on the pass rush. And it is ugly right now. Now, it is 2 games. Maybe he'll fix it. Maybe Russell Wilson just had a really good game. But so far, in my mind, terrible start for Eberflus in this game.
Yep, definitely not a good start. The Giants should never be putting up, was it 37 was the final tally for them? That makes you worry for when the Commanders with a healthy Jaden Daniels come to town. That makes you worry when you're playing some of the other high-flying offenses in the NFC. The Cowboys' offense is good enough to go deep in the playoffs. They got to find a solution on defense.
Yeah, their offensive line's looking good. Their wide receiving core is really good, and their running backs are good. So they should be able to compete with any team in this league. They've got to figure out this defense, and this isn't just a Micah Parsons thing.
But
You're
Jerry found somebody to replace Micah.
Yes, he sure did, and that
He
would
signed
be,
him.
as I posted earlier, we will be the 85 Bears now after all that complaining I did, because we got Jadeveon Clowney. He's going to be joining over here, who I think was actually a good pickup. He got 5.5 sacks last year. Any sacks in our case would be really good, and he is a good run gap stopper. So this team's going to be tough to run on, by all means. But
Yeah.
man, with Bland out and Trayvon Diggs not knowing how to do the scheme, I got Donovan Wilson did have a big interception, but what I like about Donovan Wilson's not his coverage. It is his physical play. That's what I like about him. He's a ball hawk that flies to anywhere, and it looks like he's just confused out there with this coverage package. Gives me a lot of when we had Mike Nolan back in the first McCarthy year, and we were the worst defense in the league then.
Yeah, but it's interesting because they're so close to being so good, but yet Jerry is really spinning hard about the future. He was on I want to say it was the Fox pregame show. Maybe it was ESPN. I had one of the pregames on Sunday, and they had Jerry on for another one of those studio style sit downs, and he was just waxing poetic about like the 4 picks they're going to ultimately end up with and what you're going to spin them out to. So it's awesome that he's looking to the future, but I think any Cowboys fan will tell you he's burning a quality team. It's just, I don't know. I would be frustrated if I was a Cowboys fan. But who knows? It's only week 2. Maybe the players need some more time in Eberflus's system, and it'll get better.
And having those draft picks on your back pocket, I like it. I'm okay with that. That's not going to be my problem with Jerry Jones on this. What I don't want him to do is hold on to him when you start realizing that, wait, this team actually has something. I can maybe actually pull something off with this. So just because you're looking at the future doesn't mean you just stop and go with that plan all the time. If you see someone out there that's on the trading block, you have plenty of cap space, pull the trigger, Jerry. Just do it. Be the wild gun that's out there. You got 4 draft picks to play with in the next 2 years. If the team's starting to look close, and I will say the defense is not looking close right now, but I think that's more of a coaching thing. If the team's starting to look close, take advantage of it, because this offense is legit. This is a good offense heading into the year.
For sure. And there's going to be some teams where stuff's going to come up on the block. When you look at it, Joe Burrow went down pretty much for the season. He's going to be done. So maybe do you look at, I know they only gave the Bengals only gave Hendrickson a 1-year deal. Well, now, unless Browning becomes a miracle man, not much is happening. Can you get someone like Trey Hendrickson, who's on an expiring contract, for a 3rd-round pick? And then maybe a late pick swap?
Possibly, or maybe even fire off one of your first. You've got 4 in the bank heading into the year, and you'd have Hendrickson. It depends on how close
if Hendrickson would resign. That's the key. If the agent's gonna say Hendrickson's gonna test free agency, I wouldn't give more than a 3rd-round pick. But that being said, if the Cowboys reel off some wins and they need someone like that, make that move, and all of a sudden, whoa, Cowboys Colts Super Bowl, is it gonna happen?
I would yeah, Cowboys, Colts, let's do it. I'd be excited about that. But then my true colors would come out. It'll be blue still. It'll be blue, but
yeah,
probably more silver. But yeah, that's the keynotes of the game. And Rob hit the nail on the head on the news. We got Jadeveon Clowney, some big injuries that happened. Kevontae Turpin had a huge neck injury, so that's going to be an issue. He had a big game yesterday, or on Sunday, for 47 yards, 1 huge touchdown. Dak threaded that needle on a 3rd down. A lot of positives and a lot of negatives going into it. And one thing you got to remember, this is division games. Sometimes they get messy, and
they do.
And maybe that's all it is. But I have to mention it. Sorry, Rob.
Yeah, go for it.
Brand. So he's got a huge issue with kickers. We've got a kicker. He might be the MVP of the league. Forget Daniel Jones. You got Brandon Aubrey kicking field goals over here, who had to make a 64-yard field goal to get it into overtime. Nailed it. And then a 46-yard game winner. And my favorite part of the 64-yarder that cracked me up the most is the Cowboys, when they got to that point, they were running draw plays. Like, we know he's going to make it. We're not worried about that.
Yeah, I think Shoddy said, as far as he's concerned, the range is to 70 for Aubrey.
It's going to change things, because if the other opposing team scores a touchdown and you give us any time on the clock, to get within 70 yards is not that hard in the NFL, especially if you play soft coverage. So weirdly enough, at least on the analytical front, Brandon Aubrey could be effing up some teams here. They have to rethink their analytics on it, because he can get points that no one would expect us to get.
Which makes them not want to have soft coverage. So then when they try to send them to keep the Cowboys from gaining anything, you go over the top to Pickens or Lamb. Touchdown.
It's weird. Our kicker has a lot of influence on what could change the game, or how we could change the game. So I'm pretty pumped about Brandon Aubrey, and kudos to you. Hats off to Brandon Aubrey. In fact, you get the Nick Beanie player of the Cowboy game. Okay, so thank you, Brandon Aubrey. You'll win more of those, I promise you. That's just a bit I made up, but who knows? We could probably do that.
And of course, the extra assist goes to Brandon Aubrey's wife, who after he flamed out in MLS, was sitting on the couch a few years back, watched some kickers in an NFL game, and said, "I could do that." And his wife goes, "Well, why don't you? You can do that." And that got him training and going, and look where he is now.
Behind every great man is a great woman, right, Rob?
For sure, for sure. So yeah, so that was Cowboys Giants. And then back over in the AFC East, it was an all AFC East weekend. We had the Bills heading down to New Jersey, leaving the state to play the New York Jets. No surprise there. The Bills won. It was a divisional game, so it wasn't pretty for Josh Allen at all. He didn't throw for a touchdown pass. He might have a broken nose. A Jets defender got up under his mask and got him good. So Mitch Trubisky got to play for a couple plays. After the game, Allen's nose was visibly swollen. He did say, he's like, "It's all good. I can breathe out of it." So maybe it's not broken. Maybe it just got jammed pretty good. Either way, a broken nose isn't keeping him out of the lineup at all. He did have a 40. Yeah, he had a 40-yard run, which was pretty good. But it was the James Cook day. He dominated 132 yards, led the way, and the Jets couldn't do much. But on top of that, their defense is already so banged up. Jermaine Johnson was out in the second quarter with an ankle. Safety Tony Adams injured his groin in the first half. They lost another defender to a shoulder injury in the third. The Jets are already walking wounded, and of course, the biggest issue of all for the Jets in the fourth quarter, Justin Fields. I've been so high on Justin Fields, and wow to the Wow to the Bills defense. The Bills, not the 85 Bears, the 2025, 2026 Buffalo Bills defense was beating them up big time. And Fields left in the fourth quarter with a concussion. He's already ruled out for this next game. So Tyrod Taylor gets to see if he has any chemistry with the Jets receivers and Mr. Garrett Wilson. So not looking good for the Jets, but we always knew it. Okay, I was kind of high and said they'd be able to compete this year. I still think they will. I think they have the right coach. But if Fields misses any length of time and this becomes a Tua concussion type situation, then the Jets are looking like a 3-win team instead of a 6 to 8-win team.
It really, I feel so bad for Garrett Wilson. I don't know why he's still there, because this quarterback carousel that's been happening over and over and over again.
He's got his boy now, though. He's got his boy, as long as he's healthy.
Yeah, and I'm not saying anything on Justin Fields. I feel bad for his injury, and he had a good start to the year, but man, Garrett Wilson, dude. It's like finally, like you said, he got his boy, and then he gets hurt. And I'm not high on older Tyrod Taylor. He was a good quarterback back then, but not right now. But
Yeah.
I just feel so bad for him because he's a great wide receiver who I don't think gets enough appreciation, and he's running out of daylight on his career, so he needs something.
He's only in like year 3. He's not a running back. He's got time. But I could see him once his rookie deal's up. I could see him hitting the market and not even thinking twice about staying in New York.
Deuces, get me out of here. Get me a quarterback, and I don't even care about pay. Just get me out of here because just his legacy alone, he deserves a lot more. And I just think the Jets are doing it bad. But who knows? Justin Fields, when he comes back, maybe the chemistry goes well. I will say I was wrong about Justin Fields in week 1, so let's see what he does on week 4. I guess I would assume coming back from a concussion.
Let's see what happens again in week 4. Let's see if before the concussion in game 2 or the game 1 Justin Fields. Let's say which Justin Fields is the right one, and then we can go from there. But yeah, not looking good for the Jets. The Bills may have essentially clinched the division this week by getting that win over the Jets. I'm imagining they will sweep both Miami and the New York Jets. So that's 4 wins right there. And even if they only split with New England, that's still 5 wins just in the division. That'll all but wrap that up for the Bills, not to surprise anybody.
Unless New England starts getting their gear together. I mean, it's early, so maybe it gets better.
We're not there yet, but I wouldn't complain.
It would be nice. It would be nice. It would be nice for the show because who knows? We both have shaky teams right now, and so we got the Colts. So in our back pocket, we'll get into them later. But man, yeah, I would like the podcasting to be a lot easier covering good football teams instead of bad ones.
For sure. So what happened in the rest of the NFC East?
So the NFC East, I guess we'll move on to the Commanders since that was the first game coming back. They beat the Packers beat the Commanders 27-18. Packers improved 2-0. Commanders 1-1. Total yards 350 yards. Commanders offense did not do too hot. They only got 250 yards for the day. Rushing yards, Packers over 100. Commanders only got 51 yards, so they might have a little offensive line problem, maybe a play calling issue. I don't know what's going on right there. Their running back did go down, the original starter. I don't know why I'm drawing blank here, Rob. Help me out here.
For the Commanders, Eckler.
Eckler, yeah. So Eckler went down, and then the rookie came in to try to help him out. And I don't know why I'm losing it. Who is it?
Roski Merritt.
Merritt goes in, and he didn't have that great of a game this one, but he's a rookie. And you can't give him the entire load with Eckler being out, so a little bit of a struggle there. Jaden Daniels, 42 attempts, under 200 yards, 2 late TDs. He did get it in gear later in the fourth quarter. Looks like he's got an injury issue, so he might not even be starting next week, which is going to be really bad for them. Zach Ertz got a 20-yard touchdown. Zach Ertz still doing Zach Ertz thing, and then this is really bad when your offense is struggling. One of the key players that the Commanders had was Brandon McManus, the kicker, unless it's Brandon Aubrey, of course. But Brandon McManus, the kicker, missed 2 field goals, so not really good for the Commanders. This is more, I think, a lot of people are starting to fall out on the Commanders right now, and I don't think that's going to be the case. I think the Commanders are going to be fine. Jaden Daniels might have a little injury issue, so if he comes back after next week, or hopefully plays next week, he will be fine. I like Jaden Daniels. I think he's going to do just fine over there. They have a good rookie running back. I think this is just an attest to how good the Green Bay Packers were because they're
so good.
it's really impressive what they got going on there. Jordan Love seems to be doing well. They're running the ball. They're getting what they want out there. But of course, their defense is killing it over there, mainly because Micah Parsons, who jumped our defense a total of 18 points. I can only imagine what he's doing for already a top 10 defense in the league. Maybe making them the 85 Bears, as I keep making jokes about. But I wouldn't freak out if I was the Commanders. Just hang tight over there. I think it's going to end up working out for you. But
they have the Raiders coming to town next week. So even if Jaden's not full go, you've got, is it still Marcus Mariota that's their backup over there? Yep, it is. Marcus Mariota ready to go. Mariota could get some revenge against its former team. So, yeah,
which one?
I think. Yeah, exactly. I know. Yeah, he played for the Raiders briefly. So I think if Daniels has, I would rather see Daniels sit out an extra week, let Mariota dink and dunk his way around, because Geno showed that when he gets too aggressive, trying to really do what Chip Kelly wants him to do, he can throw picks. So I think the Commanders can squeak out a win without Jaden next week. So if he's not 100% cleared to go, let him heal up.
Yeah, and you're 1-1, so there's no need to panic right now. Let's just calm down, Commanders. But Commander Nation's already freaking out about it right now, and I'm like, calm down, guys. You guys are fine.
Hey, they're excited that they have something to freak out about now.
Yeah, that's my other point. I'm like, who do you think you are, guys? You've had how many bad years? Really bad years, worse than the Cowboys, and then you just made it to the NFC Championship, and hey, it's hard. Winning's hard, guys, but I think they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Yeah, and then in off-field news, I don't know if you saw this, but the deal for their new stadium for the Commanders, that all got approved. So the light is at the end of the tunnel for them getting out of, I believe they're currently in Delaware. So the light is at the end of the tunnel for that and getting them back into DC. They're targeting 2030 to be back in the district.
That is awesome because it never should have left the district. So I'm glad they got that back going because the turnout's going to be a lot better. Although they're not doing too bad, but that's I think all I got for the Commanders. Which team do we have left in the AFC East?
The tush push.
Oh, it's just me, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just you because it was 2 AFC East games, so I could 2 for 4 for me, 4 for 2.
Yes, he's talking about the infamous tush push. A lot of controversy there. I'm sure Rob's got some takes on what he thinks about that last play over there as well. Seems like any NFL fan does. The Eagles go on to beat the Chiefs. He's got to be happy about that for sure, though. They win 20-17, moving the Eagles 2-0, and the Chiefs are falling 0-2. So that's 2 straight losses. So some struggles happening to the Chiefs. Total yards to go ahead, Rob.
I was just gonna say, but just don't forget, remember the infamous Bill Belichick quote, "We're on to Cincinnati," after they fell to, I believe, 0-2 against those Chiefs way back when. Their run was far from over. So it's only 2 weeks. You got a veteran team. Travis Kelce needs to get his head on straight a little bit, wearing a shirt about trying to free Rashee Rice from something Rashee Rice did. So coach is going to yell him a little bit. They'll be fine, though.
Yeah, and I know this is more about the Eagles, but I'll relate it to somehow. One thing I know about the Eagles is their secondary, not good. It looks like the same position that the Dallas Cowboys are in, right? And the Cowboys were able to cook that secondary all game long. If it wasn't for CeeDee Lamb missing a couple of catches, they should have won that game, even the way it was looking. But Patrick Mahomes, compared to Dak Prescott's performance, was only 17 for 28 and 187 yards. And the biggest problem that's going on with the Kansas City Chiefs right now is they cannot get big plays out there. And I guess it's got something to do with the fact that they don't have enough wide receivers to.
Yeah. Worthy's out. Rashee Rice is suspended for another 4 games. So you got Mahomes throwing to Juju Smith-Schuster and Tyquan Thornton two cast-offs that couldn't make the New England Patriots roster are now leading the way in Kansas City. So I will say though that tush push, I don't know what everyone's seeing. That looks perfectly onside to me.
Oh, I disagree with that. I disagree with it though, but I also don't think they should call it because I don't think they linemen ever line correctly on sides.
Yeah.
Two biggest infractions that I saw. They said the tackles weren't on the line of scrimmage. Tackles never are on the line of scrimmage. Hate to break it to you. Watch every single play. It's a weird phalanx formation that they always run. I've never seen a tackle on the line of scrimmage, so just throw that away. Just stop that. They don't call it. You don't want them to call it because if you did, it'd be trash football. Then the other end of it was the center had his head over the ball, right?
Yeah.
In the neutral zone, and you're saying he technically wasn't offsides? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, they were playing the Chiefs, so of course he wasn't offsides.
Gotcha. So little tongue in cheek. Maybe the Chiefs are getting what they've got coming to them, right? Where some calls don't go their way.
Yeah, exactly.
I was cheering on the Chiefs. I was hoping they would win. I picked the Chiefs for the same reason why you picked the Eagles. I think we're just hoping the other one would win just because I hate the Eagles more than I hate the Chiefs and vice versa for you over there. Saquon Barkley was held pretty well too, by the way. 22 carries, 88 yards. Just one touchdown, which for Saquon Barkley and that offensive line, that's not too that's not too exciting over there. So the Kansas City Chiefs do have a good defense. It's just that offense looks ugly. And classic Eagles style, Jalen Hurts did not have to do much. He only threw it 22 times, 15 receptions, 101 yards, 9 receptions, and 9 carries for 15 yards. He didn't even run the ball that well. So Jalen Hurts is in such a good position because he's got Saquon Barkley. He's got that offensive line. I feel bad for AJ Brown somewhat because
he's not had a good start.
There's no reason to throw it to him. I'm sorry, AJ Brown. We can run it down their throat. So what do you want us to do?
At the same time, I think if AJ Brown's kind of stressed, he just has to look down at his ring finger and go, "Oh, that's right."
It
So
works.
And the one other thing I want to say about the Eagles, and I'll turn it back over to you. All those people going out saying, "Well, look at Jalen Hurts' numbers. They're crap. They're no good." You can't just put any random quarterback behind that offense and expect it to work. It works because the whole team buys into Jalen Hurts and his team first attitude and his do whatever it takes to win. You put a Carson Wentz back there, it's not happening.
You're absolutely right. I love Jalen Hurts' attitude, his work ethic. He just keeps on going to the gym. And like you said, he doesn't care. He doesn't care that he threw for only 101 yards because it's all about one thing only. That's winning. And I do like Jay. I wish I didn't. I wish I hated him, but
you got to respect
I like him. I respect him. I definitely respect him. And he can turn it on if he had to, but I just don't. Just doesn't have to. So keep doing what you're doing, Jalen. But yeah, that's the Eagles and their performance. They're looking really good, and they're going to be off to a good start as predicted. So could it happen, Rob? Could the Eagles win the NFC East division back to back, end the long streak? I think we're at 16 years of division winners, different division winners each year. It looks like the Eagles might be able to break that streak.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, right now, if I had to pick one team, I'm picking the Eagles. But honestly, if the Cowboys can string some wins together, maybe Jerry can go get a Trey Hendrickson. Things could change quick.
Yeah, the draft picks, the trades, it's this little weird dark air behind the scenes that we can maybe change it up. And we've done it before where traded a draft pick to go get Amari Cooper that one year when we looked dead in the water. We came back to win the division. But yeah, that's it. I think we're good on Eastside News, huh, Rob?
I think we are. So, do you know what's going on with those Colts?
Yeah, on to our best team we cheer for.
What's going on with the Colts? What's going on with the Colts? What's going on with the Colts? Is it go blue? Let's ride. Or lucky shoe? Who knows? Who knows? What's going on with the Colts?
Yes, it's what's going on with the Colts, and I'll be glad to answer that right now. Super Bowl bound. What do you think of that, Rob?
Why did anyone ever doubt Daniel Jones? I don't know.
It wasn't
Definitely,
us.
we never doubted him. We were not calling for Anthony Richardson to be the starter. Don't go check that tape. You don't need to. We were all Team Jones all the time.
All Team Jones, and if you're just joining us or one of the 100 people that viewed it, don't just shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. We called this way back when that Daniel Jones would be taken over, and it looked like a pretty exciting game out there. And they beat the Broncos, who me and you, Rob, we both picked the Broncos to win this thing, right? But
We did, and we were right until the last play.
and by the last play, you mean the last second field goal that took them over the edge. The Colts winning 29-28 against the Broncos. Very exciting game. No denying that. Both teams got a lot of yards, 473 to the Broncos 350. But Daniel Jones, it was 23 for 34, 316 yards, 1 touchdown, another over 100 quarterback rating, and he even got a couple carries and a TD. No punts again for Daniel Jones. He keeps
They
it
are
going.
the first team in the Super Bowl era to ever go 2 straight games without a single punt.
It is insane. Now, their skill position was good, and we knew this, and that's why I kind of feel dumb for kind of poo-pooing this team, because we knew they had Jonathan Taylor. We knew they had Pittman Jr. This Tyler Warren kid, who also had a big game, 4 receptions for 79 yards, averaging, this is a tight end, averaging 19.8 a reception. This guy is something else. And for you fantasy owners out there, go get Tyler Warren, because there's that connection between him and Daniel Jones is huge. He even had 7 targets outside of that.
If he's available in your league, you're playing a soft league and you better be winning. But the other thing about Daniel Jones, in week 1, he threw to 10 different receivers, had completions. He's still spreading that ball around. There was 7 different receivers with a completion in this game. That's usually a mastery on offense you're seeing from a guy that's been around in the system for a while. Brady used to throw to so many receivers. Not usually you get a guy that he gets in the first year or so, he's got his 1 guy, 2 guys, that's just what he's going to. And he's already just spreading it around. It's impressive. Is it just because he's in Indy? Is it because he went to the Kevin O'Connell finishing school for quarterbacks in Minnesota for a few weeks? I don't know. Is it just not having to look at Brian Daboll and the New York Jets reporters anymore? Maybe that's it. But wow, he's honestly at this point, he is a front runner for MVP. Yes, it's still early. It's only 2 weeks. I'd say there's no way he's winning MVP, but when you look at this division, they could get 6 wins in this division. They could go 6-0. And then you just got to then you just got to go 6-5. And I mean, not only have you won the division, but you're a 3 seed, maybe even a 2 seed.
Their division is awful. We've been saying that, but I was kind of counting on the Texans being something. They're not looking too good right now with C.J. Stroud. I know they lost a close one, but with, outside of that, who do you got? You got Tennessee. That's not going to do you anything. Jacksonville. I'm so sorry, Rob. I just realized that. That's his friend or ex-high school.
Yeah, no, but Jacksonville still, they're showing growth. Like, I think they're on the right trajectory as long as Cohen and Lawrence don't kill each other on the sideline. I think they'll be fine. But yeah, if I was Houston, I'd work out some sort of deal with Minnesota where CJ Stroud quietly spends the Monday through Saturday in Minnesota and then comes back and plays the game. Like, send him to
Because he
that
needs
finishing
McConnell.
school. Yeah, because the Texans are disappointing. The Colts are right there. Granted, the Colts should be 1-1. It was a 60-yard field goal. And then there was a penalty by the Broncos that then moved that penalty. That one gave a replay of down, and it went from 60 to 45 yards. And you're not going to give a kicker who just shanked a 60-yarder. You give him 15 more yards, and he can settle in. Say, cool, and now they can't even run at me. I can settle in, take my time, and drill it.
Yeah, I don't think it poo-poos the Broncos. I think the Colts are actually good. I think this is a legitimate team. And even though they got a little lucky with the penalty there to even get the win, it's still impressive that they hung in there and played really well at the Broncos. So, it was a big game. And did you see the owner dancing with the fans too?
Yep. Yeah, we talked about the owners last week. I just love this setup with them. I love how they do it. I love their interactions, how modern it's all being. It's a breath of fresh air for the league.
I think they're killing it over there. Great engagement. They have a great football team. You have a heavy football person who's got a headset listening to what the coaches are playing out there. It's a cool environment, and I'm actually very fortunate because I have to focus on this team that we get to focus on what they're doing right now. We might have caught lightning in a bottle here, Rob.
We certainly might have, and I'm excited for it. It's gonna keep getting better. I hope. Or if the wheels come off, it's gonna be spectacular.
For sure, but yeah. And by the way, Rob's been reaching out to everyone. I'm seeing his text message, social media, everyone out there. We're trying to find a Colts fan. We live in Texas, okay? There's not that many out there. So anybody that's willing to talk Colts or give their inside scoop on what it's like to be a Colts fan or what they know is going on over there with their local media, we'd love to have you on and actually have that discussion with you for sure.
Yeah, we love that fan discussion. We had it with Mark Stein for the Dallas Cowboys. We had it with Ryan last week with the Patriots. We had some technical difficulties with the sound, but Ryan made a lot of great points, and we look forward to having both of them back on again soon in the future. But yeah, if you're a Colts fan and you're listening to this, shoot us a message. Let's get you on. Let's get you on next week. Let's talk Colts.
For sure. We want you on because right now you're the team of the NFL right now. Everyone's a little lovable Colts right now because you guys are blowing up Twitter for sure.
Yeah, and if they win again next week, I think part of the segment, the two of us need to redo the schedule game for the Colts the rest of the way through with fresh, fan-focused eyes.
Yes, we do need to do that, and he is talking about live streaming, right? The games.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting a live stream going for them quite soon.
Yeah, I'd be really excited about that. So we'll have that up here shortly. But yeah, the Colts doing it again. But Rob, we're going into week 3, man, and we need to make some picks. And
yes, we do.
I think I'm better off not making picks because it's not working out for me right now. But
yeah, I went 2-1 last week.
Correct, 2-1, yes, sir. Yeah, and I'll pull that up there as well.
And you were 1-2.
1-2. So I have 2 wins versus your 5.
It's early yet. We got time. We got 3 more games this week.
Yep, for sure. Let's go on to Nick and Rob making picks.
Making picks with Nick and Rob. Nick and Rob. Their picks might be a hatchet job. Less reliable than a cone on the cob, but I love hearing picks.
All right, let's make some week 3 picks. Week 3 picks. Since we were just talking about the Colts, let's lead off with the Colts. So the Colts are traveling to Nashville. They're going to play the Tennessee Titans, who are currently 0-2 with their first overall pick, Cam Ward. We do, as a reminder, our picks are always just straight up wins and losses, but we will tell you what the spread is. We're recording here on a Wednesday, and it is Indy -4.5 with a 43.5 total 4 points. Where are you going with that one, Nick?
This one's pretty easy for me. I don't really buy into whatever Tennessee's doing right now, and I love what the Colts are doing right now. I apologize to all the Colts fans because it seems like I'm the kiss of death for any team that I pick out there, but I'm going to say the Colts should win this thing. Should be a pretty easy one, and I'd imagine they win that.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree there. I mean, it's one of those division fights, so it might be closer than it needs to be, but and the Titans have a somewhat functional defense. But what the Titans really clearly are showing they need is a quality head coach. Those are hard to find, um, especially when you let one go and let him go to New England. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So
I've
yeah,
never
I agree.
covered either.
No, it's I think it was some sort of like front office argument or something. The players were not happy when it happened. The league was in shock. And well,
Now you're here.
now we're here and the Pats are going to win 5 more Super Bowls in the next 10 years. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, I agree. Colts take this one. If I would pick them to cover the spread at this point too. But yeah, Colts definitely get the win.
Sweet. And then outside of that, we got the I got the Colts. We're both on the same page here. We got a very
Yep.
interesting one here for the Cowboys. They're playing against the Bears. At the Bears right now. The Cowboys. No, I'm sorry. The Bears. The Bears are actually favored 1.5. Rob, do you think the Bears are going to be able to answer that 1.5 and win this game, or do you think the Cowboys should be able to win?
Well, I think Caleb Williams might be able to put up over 20 fantasy points again this week. But I I don't think their defense can stop anybody though. Look what Detroit just did to them. And the Cowboys have arguably I would say a better offense than the Lions do. Um, so I'm gonna say, yeah, I said it. I said it. I think they do, especially with Javonte Williams singing right now. I'm looking at Dak versus Jared Goff. I'm taking Dak all day long.
Okay, that's an interesting topic, but yeah,
I'm taking
we'll
Dak. I'm
get
taking
into
CD.
that.
So
Find
I
that
think the
fascinating.
Cowboys. I think the Cowboys win. It might be another crazy shootout. It might be first to 45. I hope it's not first to 45 for the Cowboys fans. But yeah, Cowboys win this one.
I'm gonna go with the Dallas Cowboys too as well, mainly because I think the one factor that Caleb Williams does not have that Russell Wilson does have is picking apart his own defense right now. And how do I know they're going to run zone? I don't know. They've only done it 97% of the time right now. So they're going to run it again. Maybe it'll confuse them. Jalen Hurts seemed to struggle against it, but Russell Wilson just knew better and knew how to pick it apart. So on that aspect, I'd imagine Caleb Williams is going to have a little tougher day passing. It's not going to be that hard, but he's going to get it won't be as easy as it was with Russell Wilson. And then on top of that, the only issue that I have with the Cowboys, another issue I have plenty of issues with the Dallas Cowboys defense, is Caleb Williams can run the ball, and we did not do that well against Jalen Hurts. So Caleb could do the same thing to us that Jalen Hurts did. If I was the Bears, I would be running zone read and trying to confuse the hell out of them all day long because I don't think we have an answer for it. We don't have a linebacker core. We do have a good defensive line that could stop the run, but when it comes to running quarterbacks, we struggle. So I do worry about that heading into the game, but I'd imagine our offense should be able to get enough points anyway. Wouldn't be shocked if it's a 45-42 game again.
First 45.
But because our defense is, I think, that awful. But Should
But
be
do
very entertaining, at least.
they love Eberflus enough to rally around him in his revenge game?
That I don't know. I actually don't know the dynamic of the locker room. I haven't heard anything bad. I listen real close to the Dallas sports media, and I haven't heard anything bad about Eberflus outside of the sports media casters complaining like I am about bad defensive play calling. But the players might respect him and like him, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't think they're going to quit on him.
no, and I mean, I don't think he's coming back into Chicago and getting a tribute video or anything, but you'd like to think.
Doesn't deserve one.
No, not at all.
No.
So who are you taking with that? Are you taking the Cowboys?
Yes, I am going to take the Cowboys on that one. I think we're going to pull that off and get the victory.
So we're both agreeing so far. That leaves one more game to pick. This one's interesting for a lot of reasons. The Steelers are coming to New England. Steelers, Patriots. At the moment, the line is Pittsburgh -1.5, which makes some sense. But historically, New England has their way with Pittsburgh. Even when it doesn't make sense, they just do. And now we got Vrabel back, one of the all-time Steeler tormentors, but also a former Steeler as well.
Right.
He's back.
Is that right?
I
Oh,
gotta
you
pick
were
the
just thinking.
Steelers. I gotta pick the Steelers in this one. I want to be wrong. I don't think the Patriots defense is there right now. Christian Gonzalez is trending to be back, but at the same time, he hasn't practiced since July, so he's not going to be 100%. And Aaron Rodgers can take aim at that secondary and he can pick it apart.
Well, I don't think Pittsburgh's defense is that good. They're allowing tons and tons of points out there, and I don't think Jaden Daniels is going to be struggling and Trayvon Henderson's going to be out there. Are you going to make me do this? Do I have to be the Patriot fan of this podcast?
I mean, you
and
can make
pick
that
the
split, but I'm
Patriots?
looking at it and just like Diggs is a little distracted right now. I don't know if he's going to be distracted in a good way or in a bad way. It came out he's going to be a father. Cardi B is going to be giving birth to his child at some point. So that news came out. So don't know where Diggs is at mentally. And then if Diggs is distracted, then you just got a lockdown booty.
I totally heard Cardi B was pregnant. I had no clue that Stephon Diggs was with Cardi B. I am so out of touch with the
The
celebrity
Chiefs may have Taylor Swift, but the Patriots have Cardi B.
Okay, all right. Oh yeah, Cardi B. Well,
I
hey,
don't
hey,
listen
hey.
to her music, but cool. I don't trust the Patriots receivers enough yet. But Ramondre Stevenson had a solid game last week. So if Henderson can pop off with a few big plays, it's possible. I can talk you into picking the Patriots. I don't know if they're there yet.
Well, I'm gonna go with the Patriots. I think the Patriots should be able to win. It is at the Steelers. That's gonna be pretty tough to place to play. But I don't know. Drake May look pretty good out there, so give me the Patriots. I think the Steelers has some issues.
The game is New England. It's in New England.
Oh, my apologies. Okay, so it's in New England, and it gives me all the more reason. I'm gonna go Patriots. I think the Patriots are gonna pull this off, and I'm sorry, I might give you the kiss of death. So that's the Colts, Cowboys, and now the Patriots. But
it's all good. I'm all for it. If you go 3-0, that means I go 2-1, and the one I was wrong on, my team wins. I'm cool with that.
Hey, not bad. So me and Rob are going to be heavily watching the Patriots against the Pittsburgh Steelers because that's the only one that we have a difference on. Let's get it. We're going into week 3. I'm pretty excited for it.
Let's do it. Awesome. So that's it. We've covered it all. Anything else you want to make sure we touch on before we send the fans on their way to get excited about watching, by the time they're listening, probably some Thursday night football?
Well, I finally broke. We got the TikTok, and I don't know what the hell's going on with TikTok right now. It might be there. It might not. We might be going to Lemon 8. I have no clue right now. There's a lot of discussion going on behind the scenes out there.
But while TikTok
um,
exists, where can they find us at on TikTok? What are we?
Nick and Rob Homer Hour. So get there while you still can. Get there while you still can, because it might be going away.
Awesome. And make sure to follow us on, if you're already watching us on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe and share with a friend. If you're watching us on YouTube, but you're like, I like to let my phone do other things. I don't need to watch you guys. I just want to listen. Go find us on Spotify. We are on Spotify. Like and subscribe on Spotify. Then you can listen along. And of course, you can find us as well on Instagram, Nick and Rob Homer Hour. But yeah, find us especially on TikTok. Find us especially on Spotify and YouTube.
Absolutely. And hey, we appreciate you guys being on the show. We're still looking for that Colts fan. Someone give us a Colts fan, damn it. But outside of that, we're glad you guys are joining, and we'll see you next time.
All right.